right, you guys, we are live in effect. It is the Locker Room Show. You guys know what time it is. It's Thursday. This is where we get after it. This is where we bring you the truth about the football entertainment industry, and we bring you some of the best in the industry that are going to keep it real with you guys. This is for the players, parents, and coaches that want to know. So obviously, I got my host with the most, my boy that always holds it down to the far right. That is none other than Q, the guru. What's going on, player?
What's going on, Coach, man? How y'all feeling this week, man?
Man, we into it like we always into it. And, we already know what you're going through. And you guys don't know what this man is going through, but he's holding it down and he's doing it because he loves you guys. So, Q, thanks for having our back, brother.
For sure,
And
no
then,
doubt.
of course, in the middle, I got my big younger brother. This is somebody that was in the trenches on the dark side with me at the University of Colorado. Hell of a player, you guys. He's going to come through your A gap, and he's not taking any names. Ended up having a change of position and going on the offensive side and playing in the NFL. Very, very hard to do. Unique career. This is somebody that has also opened up a phenomenal gym, you guys. The Dungeon family out in Colorado, 60 Strength Gym, where they're training some of the biggest and baddest in Colorado. He's pumping them out, and that is none other than my boy, Matt McChesney. What's going on, big time?
What's happening, guys? Thanks for having me on.
No doubt.
Hey, man, I know you're busy, and thank you for taking some time out your day.
It's my pleasure. Anything for the viewing public. I know that your show kicks ass, and what you're doing out there is big time. So we're pretty much in the same industry here, man. So let's get this on.
Let's get this on, man. And you guys are in for a treat because, we tell people not to hold back in the locker room, but we don't got to say that to Big Matt. So we're going to get right into it. Let's get into the first topic. Yeah, we might have to say pump the brakes. I don't got my delete, my pause button, so help me out. All right, so let's get right into it, you guys. Huge topic. First and foremost, and that is the Raiders bringing in a new president, you guys. This is somebody that has really no football experience, but she's doing big things. Nevada Gaming Commission, an attorney general, I believe, a state attorney in Nevada, Sandra Douglas Morgan, you guys, is the new president of the Raiders. Do you think, Matt, when you look at this, is this more of a PR stunt, or is this much needed change, much needed opportunity? Obviously, first Black woman, and, we got to salute that. But how do you see this for the Raiders?
Well, it's not a PR gimmick or move or anything, but it's a PR move. I mean, look, with everything they've had negative in the Raiders organization, the clown show that it was last year with Gruden and the emails and people getting fired, still making the playoffs and having a great year. I personally think that this is a move in the right direction for the National Football League. Not only is she a woman, but she's an African-American woman, which is important. I'm not naive to the fact that 80% of the field is African-Americans and 10% of the front office, no owners are African Americans. So that's not good. So hopefully the NFL can move in the direction here of more. Look, I'd like to see more business people in the front office than football people. I want to see football people running the general manager and being the coaches and stuff like that. But I want a businessman or a businesswoman that knows the ins and outs. She's from Vegas. She understands the culture there. They just got there. I think this is a very proactive move for Mark Davis. And look, man, I know Mark Davis's haircut is screwed up, and he looks like but he is one of the most forward-thinking owners in the NFL, in my opinion. And I went to the opener on Monday Night Football last year with Bo Williams and Pesavento, actually. And bro, have you been there yet, either of you?
No. I've heard it's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow. It is like a space. I thought it was going to levitate and take off.
That's crazy.
It is, with as nice as some of the stadiums are that we've all been in, this place is just different. And I think it's going to set the tone for everybody else to try and catch up. So on top of that, this is another very proactive move by the Raiders, man.
Big time. Q, what's your thoughts on this? You think it's a thumbs up for the Raiders moving forward with this move, or you think it's going to fizzle out quick?
No. I don't think it's going to fizzle out, Coach. I think it's, like I said, I can agree with my man. It's one of those things where, man, the Raiders have always been, man, that team that's going to think out the box, man. You know how Al Davis was like, man, like, you got 2 felonies? Let's go get them. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just that guy, man, you know. Like, if you don't have some type of been in the penal system, sometimes he didn't even want you to play for him, man. He just was that guy. You're right. Like, we don't like good guys. You know what I'm saying? But that's the Raiders. That's what makes the Raiders what they are, thinking outside the box like that. So it was like, really, that making this move doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, and we got our big boy Jimmy Rucker back with us after a week off. He says Mark Davis filling big shoes, trying to make moves. You can't make small moves when you're coming behind Big Al. So that's where they're at right there. And you guys, we're on to our next topic. And this is one that's always been a topic, maybe not talked as much about in the media, but definitely growing up, I heard it as we grew the ladder of football success. And this is players doing things off the field, playing other sports. You got Micah Parsons, superstar from the Cowboys, playing some basketball in the offseason. You got the phenomenal Myles Garrett playing some basketball, summer league, NBA, warming up with the team, you guys. And I know that how the fans feel about this, Q. I know how the fans feel about this, Matt. But let me put the GM hat on you, Big Matt. Myles Garrett, somebody you can't afford to lose right before the season. Are you okay with this? Do you think it's a little negligent? What's your thoughts?
This is, I think both. Look, Micah Parsons doing it is somebody needs to sit him down and say, bro, you haven't gotten a second contract yet. What are you doing?
Thanks.
Myles Garrett already signed a $100 million contract or something crazy like that. So I guess if he wants to risk it, I mean, look, as a non-football injury is a real thing. And it's how my career ended, that on the golf course, Justin Bannon, our ex-teammate, ran me over in a golf cart and broke my leg really bad and tore up my knee and dislocated my shoulder. And
never played again.
And, I never played again. I never got the opportunity to play again because my body was just, at that point, it was just kicked. So the Broncos looked at it as that's a non-football injury, regardless of how, terrible the situation is. Sorry, your contract's void. You're done. And I had to retire. So Ryan Clady, another a future Hall of Famer, in my opinion, he was never the same after he tore his knee playing basketball. I was on the team when he did it. It completely derailed the entire season. So, look, I'm not saying that they shouldn't go hoop. I hoop almost every day at my gym. I love it. I love watching it. I'm saying that there's a time and a place, and maybe we shouldn't be snowboarding or water skiing or playing basketball. You don't really think you're going to get hurt on a golf course, but things happen. So usually, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, but usually when you're going half speed and you're not really fully invested in it,
that's when it
happen. That's when injuries really happen. I can't remember a time on a football field where I was going full speed and got hurt. Everywhere else was either people falling into me around the pile or the post play or a golf cart or an air conditioner or whatever. So I think that this is it's risky, bro. I'm not telling them what to do. They're grown-ass men. You do your thing. Maybe they got some contract stipulations that saves them from getting cut or embarrassed if they get hurt doing this. But especially Micah Parsons, I understand that you're a freak and you look like a damn NBA player, a swole one on the court, but you're a next level pass rushing, phenom linebacker, bro, and you have the potential to make what I call FU money. And if he can make FU money, that changes everyone in his family's life, not just so.
Good point.
a little risky, bro, to say the least. And they're not the only ones doing it. Like, I would say that 90% of NFL players right now sitting around in July are making poor decisions, either at nightclubs, at strip clubs, drinking too much, thinking that they're going to get away with smoking and they're not going to get tested the first week they're there. Whatever the case may be, this is the time where you need to be like getting ready for the long run, not like, oh my God, this is going to be such a long run. I'm trying to get all this other stuff in.
No, that's a hell of a point. And Q, something that we always talk about is athletes playing other sports. But then it gets to a point where it's business and there's huge sums of money possibly involved. What's your opinion as far as when guys need to almost watch what they got going on as far as extracurricular off the field sports?
No. I can totally agree with Big Man. Like, he's spot on. But then it's kind of like you look at Julius Peppers. He was a legit hooper.
Oh, God.
Kansas City. Right, exactly. But he was a legit hooper. And they left him alone. Like, the Panthers never really said much to him about it because he was a legit hooper in college too. So it's kind of like, yeah, well, he came in doing this. The same thing. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day, the Chiefs never gave Tony Gonzalez any problems, and he was in summer camp every summer almost. He stayed with the Heat.
He did
all
the
the
pro-am,
time. Yeah, exactly, constantly. Like, he was a legit hooper. So it's like, I mean, you're right, but man, unfortunately too, like the same thing with myself, man. A lot of times you get hurt, it's going half speed or it's messing around, out there. Now you look at TK. Well, he's running track. Well, I leave him alone because that translates. Like, that's translating to getting ready. So he'll be more ready than anybody else because he's trying to make the Olympic team,
Yeah.
But nah, man, like, concentrate, man, on what you're in the league to do. It's a job, and man, just be smart. Yeah, that goes from high school all the way to the league, man. As I always say all the time, even on the show. Man, be careful, man. In the summers is when it goes down. Like I said, somebody drowns in the pool or you crack your shoulder blade jumping off the high dive.
Just had a kid pass away.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Every summer, man.
You guys know how he?
I think it was a rock slide or something. Maybe he had got too close to the cliff. I saw a smaller school kid passed away, and they called it cliff diving. I don't even know what the hell cliff diving is.
Unfortunately, that's how my brother passed back in the day, was cliff jumping. So that's a thing, man. It's super dangerous. So
yeah, so this is right before the season. So obviously, prayers out to those two families of those college kids. I know it really shook up a lot of the Oregon Ducks players. So we are on, you guys, to our next topic. And once again, you guys, we're going to cover the trending topics. We're going to cover the things that matter to you that you guys are hearing about, but we're going to take a different angle. This one was one that definitely caught the national attention's news. I mean, look at this kid, man.
That's
14 years old. We definitely have to check the birth certificate, but Tyler Parker, you guys, terrifying, they called this kid, is a 2025 recruit. So he's about to be a sophomore, I believe, and's got a bunch of offers, but he's got some national attention, of course. Well, yeah, the NIL dough is going to come in thick. But talk to me a little bit, Q. How early is too early, man, to really touch these kids?
Coach, right, man. In this day and time, it's hard to say, man, because you see sometimes when you see blatant talent, or just sheer size. I mean, that's two of the things you can't teach. You can't teach speed, can't teach size. Like, that kid's just a monster, man. It's like, what are you gonna do as a coach, man? You gotta go after him, man, and at least reach out early because everyone else is seeing what you're seeing. It's impossible not to reach out to him.
I'm not going to recruit him because he's young. What?
Well, exactly. Because you're looking like, man, he can maybe give some of my guys problems now.
Talk to me seriously, though, Matt, because you got boys in your home. Yep. And I know you got Mama Bear back there, too. So your boy is a freak. and your phone's ringing off the hook. Sports Illustrated, you know, you got Nick Saban delivering your coffee in the morning. When it's too early, man, your boy is only 14.
Never, especially with football, because they're going to go to college. I mean, think about it like this, T. When we were at CU, how much money did we generate for that place? And we didn't see a dime, bro. We got a stipend check. So I don't think there's ever a time. I didn't earn money to play football until I was 22 years old. So that's essentially cutting out 5 years of earning potential, in my opinion. And I didn't really have a job in high school because my job was football. So I could have been working that whole time and earning. So
I look at it like that.
Hey, that's true.
I look at it like this. I've got a kid in my facility named Brett Coolj, and he's an 8th grader, and he's 6'5", 260, and he's a grown-ass man. He's going to start at Valor next year, best program in Denver other than Creek. And he's a grown man. He works with the older guys all the time. He's always dominating in pass rush. He plays both sides of the ball. And no one even that young. No one knows. So, like, people are astonished. There's no age too young right here, in my opinion. And if I'm this kid at this point in his life, I really hope that there's quality individuals and adults around him that can do this and keep everybody away and say, if you want to get close to my son, to my nephew, to my player, you need to put up or shut up. Period.
Nice.
And like anybody who villainizes this and like, oh, that's what it is. Football's a business. This kid's earning potential is through the roof. He's gonna be a sophomore. He's 6'1", 300 and moves like a gazelle. He's huge. They want him, bro. Charge these people until the cows come home. Get every dime you can get. Disperse it through your family. Invest it correctly. Get good people around you that know money. And don't act like you've hit the lotto. Just invest it and live broke like a college kid with all that backing. And if all these college kids start to realize that the goal is not necessarily to make money, the goal is to be financially secure when you're done. Right. When football is done with you, not when you're done with football, because it's very rare that we get to pick. You want to be able to look at your bank account and go, okay, I can take some time off, or I've earned. Even if it's in college, say this kid goes to college and doesn't develop. How many great 4- and 5-star players did both of you play with that came into college that were absolute schmucks and couldn't play?
Facts.
And it's constantly now even more because of social media, because guys get hyped and they go stuff like that.
Right.
It is, but you have to strike while the iron's hot in football. And right now, that sumbitch iron is piping.
Right.
Well, and I actually got goosebumps, man, when you were talking, because, you know, he could blow out a knee, God forbid, something, you know. So you're right, man. I mean, there was a part of me that said, dude, you know, let him be young for a little while. But then I'm listening to you, and you're right. You got to get it.
Got to get it. And
now. Everything is now.
Whenever you can.
Yeah, like, everything is now.
Sophomore and junior year are the last 2 years I go to high school. You want me to go my senior year? Why? I'll just graduate as a junior and leave. Like I had 6 guys last year early enroll to Texas Tech and Michigan and Notre Dame and LSU, Texas A&M, Nebraska, and CU. And everybody that early enrolled is now on the depth chart and about to play as a freshman. And everybody that left in August is just walking in. They're like, oh, we're in college. This looks fun. And they're going to redshirt. So if I'm this kid, there's no like too young. I think the NFL really needs to look at their age requirement that you have to stay in college for 3 years. I think that's the next domino to fall here. That needs to stop. Like, you're telling me right now, the best college football player I ever played against was Adrian Peterson in 2004. He was a true freshman. He ran 29 carries for 215 yards and 4 touchdowns against us in the Big 12 title game.
It wasn't shit.
He was a monster. He was the best player on the field, and he had to stay in college for 3 years. How much did that take away from his professional earnings and career?
That is true. And you're talking about
and how much did they make, Oklahoma?
And how much did they make off of him? And he didn't. What did he get? A fake championship ring?
Right. And then you're talking about a running back too. That's already a short longevity position.
Like 2.5 years.
Yeah. So man. Yeah. I hope you parents are listening. I'm telling you, if you guys got an opportunity,
Speaking of, you guys, the high school to college jump, you guys, this is two people that did it and both played early. So they did it very well. So let's get into that, Q. I mean, the high school to college jump, we have kids, both of us. I mean, he's already talking about Matt, kids have left for school, and we've got kids who have left as well. Talk to me a little bit, Q, about that first training camp. What should these boys be expecting? What's maybe a couple takeaways that they need to be prepared for?
Turn the lights out in the locker room.
right. Old school. Get medieval on these.
There's a little hazing, but you guys don't get it anywhere near.
That's all love. Like that's all love. But as far as on the field with the coach and everything, Q, what are you thinking? I think. Well, and I'm sure Big Man will agree with me. It's getting locked in, getting settled, and getting your nose in that book and not making any mistakes. When you step out there and you're fighting to get out there with the ones, or even if as a pup, even fighting to get with the twos and an upperclassman goes down or anything like that, you have to be ready, but you have to have your nose in that book and know what you're doing. That's the first thing. Second thing is you have to be able to have another gear to play faster than even you were playing before. It's that speed. Once you can adjust to that and then put that together with what you're doing, now you can go out there as a pup and do damage.
I agree.
Okay. Talk to me, 6-0. What are you telling your boys that they need to have?
3 things. Number 1, your effort is now going to be something that is scrutinized, and you have to be accountable. Whereas in high school, probably the best player, unfortunately, at least out here, there's a lot of high schools that he's got it figured out. I don't need to push him anymore. He's going to college. Let's figure out these other guys. And I look at it as, if I can push the best player as hard as possible and hold him to the standard up here, everybody else has to raise. So that's number 1. So he's got to learn how to play hard all the time, even when he's tired. Okay. Number 2, and these are in no particular order, by the way, because I think the book is probably the most important thing. Number 2 is, how are you going to rebound from losing? I post everything as much as I do because I want these idiots on TikTok commenting. I want the Instagram experts commenting, because I always tell my boys, like, guys, those are fans, and fans don't know shit, and you need to understand that. And they're going to talk, and they're going to boo when they're not supposed to, and they're going to criticize and be the best is this guy. I could do that. Like, bro, you're sitting in the stands. You can't do it. So 3 is the ability to understand that you have to play multiple positions, and you better be versatile. You better be a Swiss Army knife, or the absolute best player at your position everywhere. Otherwise, you're going to have to play multiple special teams. You need to play nose tackle, 3 technique, 5 technique. I got moved to guard. I had to play center. Like, the inability to understand what's going on and only playing checkers as opposed to playing chess. So I guess all the listeners, if I say this to you, you're sitting there with your son and he wants to play college football and he's getting recruited, and I say, draw me on a piece of paper right now, 11 3x1, closed bunch, tight end ISO, under Sam stack, nickel force, strong safety man. Where's the fence? Where's the squeeze gap? How do we protect it? How do we run right and left? To the bunch, we're going to run Gator. Is it 2 tight end bunch, or is it all wide receivers? The tight end isolated, how are we going to deal with the force player and the stack? What's pirate mean? How do we get all of this communicated before the ball snap? You can't do that. They're just going to blow the whistle and say, give me a veteran, get the rookie out. And you're going to get embarrassed, and you're going to go home and be like, Mom, coach yelled at me. He was really nice when he was recruiting me. And start this, like, I don't know what I'm doing, so feel sorry for me train, instead of I really need to get my shit together or I'm not going to play.
And here's the thing, and I want to piggyback off of that. And you guys see, one thing I had to learn, even though I was a DB, I just somehow, man, I guess when I got to the professional level, I had a different respect for old linemen. You boys are like surgeons out there, because you're being funny, but you're being serious. Because think about everything that he just said, parents and any coaches. That everything that he said, he had to process that from the time that the call came from the box
From the time the trigger man, from the time that he got the call from the trigger man to the time he gets to the line.
And then we didn't even call a play. We didn't call protection. We didn't call a mic point. Nothing happened post snap. They didn't move.
Right. You know, because you get a situation where a safety comes down in the box, somebody has to pick him up, and it's like, you know, so think about
or your multi-million-dollar quarterback's getting killed.
Better yet, exactly. So you have to process all of that fast.
Let me ask you. Say you're the quarterback, and I always ask every quarterback I work with, they're not coming to work with me for mechanical help. I understand how to drop and step up in the pocket, but I'm not a quarterback guru. I'm a football coach that knows both sides of the ball like nobody I know. So I've got a quarterback in my room right now named Cole Crew. He plays at Broomfield. He's a 3-star kid. He just got offered by Central Michigan. And I'm not worried about him throwing the rock. He can throw it through the wall. I want him to understand that I'm not responsible for his protection as an offensive lineman. He's responsible for his offensive lineman. He needs to walk. I has to walk up and go, hey, 57's the mic. Ray, squeeze gas right here. Walk back. Tell the back what he's doing. Go out, look at the receiver and be like, this guy's 5 yards off. You know, whatever. Just run a hook, stop out, whatever it is.
Right.
The defense, instead of being like 99% of the quarterbacks out there that act like this is hard. It's not hard. It takes a drop your ego and stop acting like your arm strength is setting the table, and understand that some of the worst athletes in the world play the quarterback position, and they are best at it because they can count. So my question here, what does Mike mean, right? Mike, everybody always says, well, Mike's the middle. And I go, how do you get the middle of 11 people? Are you going to split the middle linebacker in half? Mike is the most dangerous second-level defender. If we're in trips 3-by-1 and we're isolated on this side with the tight end and we're extended on to the field and we've got levels concept, flat, sticks, and deep, and all of a sudden the Will walks out and he's stacked by the strong safety and there's 4 defenders for 3 receivers.
Right.
Well, maybe they're going to do something over here. Let's Mike point this dude.
Exactly.
So it's hard to learn because so many guys don't want to admit that they don't know.
Yeah.
What Long was saying, I don't know. I have no idea. Please help.
But you're making another great point that I found out, and what I teach my DBs about quarterbacks is, and you led with that. And you know what that is? They always believe in their arm strength first. And that's, as a DB, it's funny. I had a conversation with my buddy of mine, and we were talking about Chris Sims. And Chris used to throw a lot of picks. Why? Because he believed in that big cannon. He believed in that cannon, and he was gonna force it. Yeah, and that's always, and you know, like I said, you cranking out dogs, you know, out. These kids, they always think big arm first. Coach, that's all I need. I can get it there. They don't think of they don't think of anything else. The technical aspect in regards to it's chess out here.
So
you're right.
So many people think us football players are Neanderthals, and it's like you have no idea.
Well, and speaking of chess players, or fellas, you know, right now in the college football industry, it is hard to dictate what's going to happen next. You got USC going to another conference. You got players that are looking like free agents. So I want to put the cap on you. Q, I want to put you at Clemson. Matt, I want to put you at Georgia, man. We'll start with you, Matt. If you are a Power 5 coach and you're trying to keep your job and win a championship, what are some of the key priorities in this day and age with transfer portal, NIL, lucrative contracts? What are some of the key things that Matt would focus on?
2 main things. Number 1, can you develop the guy to get to the next level? Or are you just his buddy as a coach? Number 2, how much money do I have to play with? And that's it. Okay. And that's it. And it's not about recruiting anymore, bro. Unfortunately, it's about recruiting in the Mountain West. It's about recruiting. It's about recruiting and hey, unfortunately, I'm sorry. It's about recruiting. If you're unfortunately, Kansas and Colorado, it's about recruiting there right now.
Right.
But Georgia and Clemson and Notre Dame and Michigan and Ohio State and Texas A&M. The starting left tackle of Texas A&M from Fossil Ridge up here in Fort Collins is one of my guys, Trey Zune.
Mm-hmm.
They are breaking those kids off down there like I've never seen. He doesn't even want to talk about how much money they're giving him because he's like, I don't really want to put it out there in the public. People will get mad. And I'm like, congratulations, brother. High five. So I look at the great coach, now the defensive coordinator at CU, who's like my dad and was my position coach the whole time I was there. He had said to me so many times, this isn't about recruiting. I can't even walk into some of these kids' houses because I don't have a bag.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the bag, I'll go get the players. And that's really the basic here. So unfortunately, I think that there's going to be an upper echelon of teams that have unbelievable donor support and the ability to kind of like just throw money at people, and they're going to get the top recruits regardless of where those kids want to play. And I don't think that's a bad thing. And anybody who thinks that it's cool that like amateur athletes don't get to make money because they want to sing their fight song, you're the damn problem.
Q, talk to me. You're the head man at Michigan. You're the head man at Clemson. What are 3 things that you're going to make sure your program has on point?
Man, I agree totally. It's the same things he just said. Can we get these kids to the next level? Because that's what they're looking at. That's what they're coming in. That's going to be their first question. Can you get me to the league? Can you get me to that next level? The second issue is, again, same thing he said. It's about, man, how much can you pay me? The term amateur athlete is non-existent now.
Can't use it anymore.
It's out the door. You can't use it. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's totally out the door.
Good point. Good point.
That's
we are on you guys to no, those are all valid points, and you guys listening, whether it's live or whether it's recruited, you parents out there, there is no amateur. You guys are professional athletes. In the case of the 14-year-old, it's now. It's showtime now, baby. So you guys have to get ready for this. And that's the part of the reason why we're having this show. Now, we are on to fan favorite part of the show. This is a part of the show that I didn't even get to prep you for, Matt, but I know you're going to come through for me as a Buffalo and a pro. But this is the lightning round. The lightning round is where it goes down, you guys. This is the locker room show version of word association, where our guest has 60 seconds, y'all. 60 seconds to get through as many words, phrases, whatever he can. He's got to tell us the first thing that comes to his mind. Now, my boy Matt has always gone unfiltered, but we're on YouTube, so we're good to go. You know? So, you ready to go, big dog? You got 60 seconds. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This isn't just for fun. We actually got an award on the line, and my Buffs haven't been winning too much lately. So I want you to come through for us and sprinkle some magic. Now, if you win, our number's 12, Matt. So you got to get 12 or more. A matter of fact, ironically, Damon Patterson, KU, has the record right now. So if you win, you get a hotel stay for you and your lovely wife and dinner. Now, I'm hoping you win because I got some hookups in Colorado, so we might not have to pay as much. So let me get my stopwatch ready.
Now, big man, hey, it ain't nothing but the 2-minute drill, baby. That's all it is. It's a 2-minute drill.
2-minute drill. So let me get the stopwatch ready. You got 60 seconds. I think we got some good ones here.
Hey, Matt. Hey, I keep saying, look, T still got Michael Bishop pissed off at him from a couple of shows back.
So we're at 0. So you know that we're not cheating them, and I'll show you when I started, so you don't think I'm hooking them up either.
See,
so
Mike Bishop gonna show up on your porch one day, man.
He said he threw the red flag on me. He said I cheated him. So we're gonna have you, Big Mike. I don't want no problems, Big Mike. We're going to have you back on, brother. All right, so let's get started. This is the lightning round, and it's about to go down. Number 1, first thing on your mind, big dog. Nebraska Cornhuskers, go.
Communists.
Vince Young.
Best college quarterback I ever played against.
Aaron Donald.
Aaron Donald is a super version of John Randall.
Jet skis or zip line?
Zip line. I can't swim.
Herm Edwards.
You only need one watch, one call, one wife.
Beach resort or mountain getaway?
Mountain getaway. Again, have you seen the amount of how big the sharks are in the ocean?
Don't say anything. Dave Chappelle or Kevin Hart?
Chappelle all day.
Eric Bieniemy, 47 seconds.
Eric Bieniemy. Lil Wayne bringing Eric Bieniemy back.
The Joker or Batman?
Joker. Batman's a punk.
Lamar Jackson. Time. We're at a minute, but you caught up there at the end, so let's see how many we got.
That is crazy.
And we gonna go over.
That makes me wish I was a running back and see you. I'll be looking at him like, man, we about to get 8 yards a pop tonight. This dude crazy.
Well. Actually, he was on the other side when he was at CU. He was on the other side, so you would have loved him at DB. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you got 9, Big Matt, and let's revisit a couple of these. Obviously, we know how you feel about the Cornhuskers. You can't swim, man.
Nah, dude, I sink.
Okay, and then he said he's
go jet skis and life jackets, and I don't even need to try anymore. I'm not
even trying.
I'm good.
He said Dave Chappelle over Kevin Hart. He says, obviously, I was expecting the Joker. And Aaron Donald, that's a big one, too. And then I know that you had been coached by Big Herm. So that's a good one, too, man. So
one wife.
There you go. And Herm be dropping bars.
That before. That's why I started laughing, man. I heard that.
Here, he'd be like, yeah, coach. Like, you hit Curtis Martin? I'd be like, yeah, I hit him. He'd be like, you don't touch Curtis Martin, 95. That's Curtis Martin. You just 95.
No, Herm is wild, man.
Dude.
Cal Bear there. But we are on, you guys, and obviously you can see why we wanted to bring Big Matt on. Hey, we're going to talk in a second about what he's doing in Colorado. So you guys want to hear that. So let's get into it, actually, with the audience Q&A. This is the last section of our show. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. And, Matt, I just want to talk to you, man, because you already were truthful with us about how you exited the game of football, right. and it was prematurely. But it seems like you've really caught your footing, man, with 6-0 strength. And what was the inspiration behind that? Did somebody tip you off? Did you get a dream? Did wifey say something? Like, tell us so these young men don't have to have such a hard fall when they transition. Tell us how that all came about.
So, number one, you don't need permission to do what you want to do. You're in America. So you can do anything you want. Put your mind to it, establish a plan, and go after it. And it's what really set it off for me was I had retired and I went back to school and got my degree. And I remember I was sitting at my mother's ranch up in North Boulder, and I was sitting there talking to my pops, and I was like, man, I don't know how I'm going to build a business just off of pros and college guys. Like, it's going to be seasonal. It's going to be tough to run a gym like that. And he looked at me and said, well, why don't you go after the high school kids? And I was like, well, they've already got high school football. They don't need my help. And the more that I thought about it and the more that I really investigated it, the more I saw what we were lacking. And unfortunately in Colorado, the more that I try and give to the community, the more pushback we get because there's so many control coaches rather than coaches. So I guess my point to everybody is there's going to be haters everywhere. And as a football player, you should know that. There's negative people constantly. Your coaches are negative half the time or more. Everybody's telling you what you can't do all the time to see if that's going to motivate you because that's the way it is. The fans are jerks, and that I used to relish that. So I take that same mentality, and every time somebody says something negative or tells us what we can't do, I look at that as that's advertising. Like you're saying, I don't care if you say I'm the worst coach in the world. You're saying my name. I don't know who you are. Right. So I look at it as every single kid, they're their own LLC. You've got to use your market and your brand. And the minute that you get done, if you have an idea, even if one of my guys, they get done playing and all of a sudden they want to open their own gym, brother, best of luck to you. I hope it works. Do it right. Tell the kids the truth, push them hard, and don't try and be everybody's buddy, because there's another, I know you guys both know this in the businesses that you're in, but there's a lot of coaches that would rather be friends with each other than compete. And I don't want to be anybody. I am not friends with my competition. I don't know who they are. I don't talk to them. I want nothing to do with them. I don't do camps with them. I am in the business of dominating the state of Colorado and helping my guys. And I think that there's a lot of people that are con men. So 6-0 has afforded me the opportunity to take all this knowledge and everything that I couldn't give to myself on the field and give it to them. Nice. You know, I felt like my career was cut short because of injury. And rather than dwell on that and fall into depression and be like, oh, my life sucks, like so many guys do, unfortunately, I look at it as, well, this happened for a reason. And I can either look at it and go, look, what if one of my guys needs to hear that story in order to keep them out of trouble? How can I use my knowledge of both sides of the football? I always say that I have my master's degree in football. How do I use my knowledge on both sides to educate? That's why I constantly post the film on the Instagram and the TikTok and everything the way we do. And people are always like, well, why do you post that? Aren't you afraid that people are going to see? And I'm like, see what? An overfriend? Like, football's football, bro. Just because you're watching me do it, that don't mean you can.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm the only one that can do me. So you know, it's I look at it as every single player has got something to give back to the game, even when the game's done with them. So if you understand that you need to humble yourself, the faster you do it, the better. Realize you're not as good as you are. You're definitely not as bad as you think you are either. And it's going to be over fast. So live it up. And when it's done, you can either dwell on it and just be one of those guys that watch. I know you got friends. We got friends that sit around. They're like, man, I hate watching football just because they didn't get the bag. And I look at it like, I had somebody ask me the other day, what would you have done if you didn't make it to the NFL? And I said, well, I would have been an arena league player, or I would have been an amateur. I would have done anything I could to keep playing. And they're like, well, what about the money? And I was like, I wasn't motivated by money. I like running into people with a helmet on. Like this. So I looked at the best way to use my knowledge base and help my community. And going on year 14 now, we've got, I don't know, probably 400 kids in school on full ride scholarship in the last 14 years. And
nice.
Sure,
that's awesome.
And it's sitting back, and I have to reflect on it sometimes and just be like, wow, man, this is pretty cool. But then, you know me, T, we've talked about this. We're football players. So I'm taught to forget about everything that's happened and focus on what's happening now.
Yep.
How do I get better for the next opportunity? So I have a hard time looking back and congratulating myself, or even taking a break. And, I find myself on vacation a lot. Like, I went for July 4th. I went to the lake with my boys, and it was awesome. The whole family's there, blah, blah, blah. 3 days in, I'm like, okay, we got to go.
It's time to go back. We got to go.
Yeah. You got to
and the beautiful thing is that your family knows that about you.
Yeah.
They know. They see that look in your eye.
They know that, family first, football second.
I love you, man. Well, hey, I don't want to keep you too long from the family, but obviously you killed it. You guys see why we brought Big Matt in tonight. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He truly, genuinely cares about these athletes. He could be doing this for a college and getting paid, but he wants to spread the love, you guys. 6-0 strength, hands down, in Colorado, football factory, the best cream of the crop. We're going to be doing some things with him before you go pro, and we really appreciate you. Where's the best way for people to reach out?
Yeah, what's your IG?
60 Academy on Twitter and Instagram, and then at 60 Academy _60 on TikTok. And look, I'm not a huge proponent of social media. If I wasn't a coach and didn't have this gym, I probably wouldn't be on it, honestly. But if you're a player and you're not, or a parent and you're not maximizing that medium, what are you doing? I started a TikTok page 6 weeks ago. My boy Gary V told me, post 4 times a day and see what happens. And I did it, and we're at 27,000 followers already and 1 million likes. And all I'm doing is posting content that's already on my phone.
All right.
Every America is on these platforms. Post and tag them. It takes one coach to see you one time, and bam, you're getting recruited.
Wow.
Wait, hold on real quick. Hold on. Yeah. Matter of fact, Matt, say that one more time. I want to hear that one more. Say that again one more time.
So,
parents, listen to this.
You are not using Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok to maximize your reps, to show people what you can do. You have a cell phone in your pocket with a camera on it that records everything. Instead of just recording you and your buddies, doing whatever you're doing, or your girlfriend or whatever, use those mediums as the platform to show the coaches what you are off the field, how hard you work, your community service, your grades, everything that they're looking for. Because in my opinion, and I don't know how it is, Callie, but the game tape out here is taken from a blimp a mile away at an angle. You can't see anybody's number. There's no drones being used. They're not utilizing the technology the way they should. So I look at it like that's a free medium. All I have to do is post a kid's workout video. Why I do it so much, I probably posted 150 reels today on Instagram, and I'll take those tonight, take 10 or 15 of them and put them on TikTok, and it explodes, and people comment, and they don't like it, and they do like it. I don't read the comments. I don't care what they have to say. Again, that's in the past. I'm moving forward. So if you're an athlete or a parent, the social media and your cell phone is the biggest tool you can use. And it can hurt you as much as it can help you. So if your dumbass is out drinking and partying and smoking blunts and acting like nobody can see it, and you're putting it on social media, bro, we can see you. So use the medium for what it is, and don't be shy. You're not like, I love it when guys are like, well, I don't want anybody to get an advantage. And I'm like, dog, we watch film on our opponent all day, every day. There is no advantage. You better work. So use the mediums. And like I said, Gary V, the great Gary V, if you're on social media, you know who Gary V is. He told me about 6 weeks ago, are you on TikTok? And I was like, no, I don't want to get on. It's just a bunch of idiots dancing. And he was like, nope. It's the new medium. Every kid in the world is on it. Instagram is dying. This is where it's going. Get on there and post 4 times a day and see what happens. I started it. I started posting 4 to 6 to 8 times a day, however many we did. And we are at 27,000 followers and 1 million likes in 6 weeks. So I can only that's going to go. Be able to monetize it soon and be able to make money off of posting videos of guys pass setting. So understand that there's so many different ways to skin these cats in the game of football. And the more technology that we have and the more we can connect, for example, I got a phone call today at about 5 p.m. when I was finishing up my last group from a 6'6", 300-pound 2B sophomore in Maryland.
Wow.
He was like, yo, I really love what you're doing on TikTok. How do I get your like, okay, let's set up a consult with you and your mom and whoever. And he just texted me back right before we started the show. Let's do it tomorrow evening. I'm talking to him and grandma and mom at 6 p.m. And there's going to be a kid in Maryland that's doing 60 hoodie on. So this is my bridge. Bridge is digital, dog. And
I want our linemen doing it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Don't sit around and act like you're being under-recruited. You're being undervalued because you're not promoting yourself. You're not being under. You're
playing
not being,
Fortnite.
Yeah, you're playing Fortnite. Instead of playing Madden, learn the formations and personnel groupings. Instead of being on your phone with your girlfriend or whatever that you're in love with.
Right.
Like I always say to my guys, like all these videos that I posted and tagged you on, they go straight to your inbox. I know they do. That's how it works. So where are all the videos? Why aren't you posting? And they're like, oh, I'm busy. And I'm like, that's the excuse I'm going to use. The next time your parents call me and go, well, why aren't you posting videos? I'm busy. I mean,
I hear you.
That we have in front of us, it's never been easier to connect. Look what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
It's all phone in my living
3
room.
different states.
Yeah.
3 different states.
Yeah.
Like, the mediums are real. There are so many opportunities, and I'll end it on this. And I believe this, and listen to what I'm saying to you. Everybody listening to this, the information age is the age we live in, and ignorance is a goddamn choice. So if you're stupid and you're uninformed and you don't want to know, they'll let you. They'll let you be dumb. But if you want to be informed, you live in the information age, brother. You can do anything you want whenever you want. You do not need permission. Use your mediums, use your gift, and go get this shit.
I love
There
this
you
guy.
go.
Man, you
Dropping
got to
the
come
mic
back on the show.
That.
We
I
got
see
to get
Tremaine.
back on
He's got Taven coming up, great linebacker in Texas. I see former teammate Joe Swift, Grit Athletics, doing big things. Glenn Hames, yeah, man, he's doing his thing right there. Track and field program. So keep up the great work, Glenn Hames. We see you, brother. So hey, you guys. I don't have to say any more. You guys see why this man is smoking. You guys see why everybody wants to get trained by Matt McChesney. If you are anywhere close, and anywhere is now Maryland, to Colorado, you alignment, you need to get with Matt. So we appreciate you, brother, and keep up the great work.
Later, brothers.
All right, big man.
All right.
Appreciate you.
Go.
Cut off the Go Buffs. So you guys already know what it is with Big Matt. He's gonna get it in. He's gonna get it in, you guys. So man, we went longer. We went longer, Q. And I know you got things to do, brother, but Matt brought the house down tonight. What you think?
Definitely, man. Like I said, I hope that that any parents or coaches and especially the players were really taking heed, because he was really giving you guys some serious sauce. And you guys, that was almost one to take notes on. But again, it's summer. We getting real close, guys, to getting back into camp. I keep saying, be safe, be safe, be safe. Think about what you're doing. It's time to get this money.
It's time to get this money. You guys live in a whole different day and age than we did. And it really is whatever you want it to be. So we're praying for you guys. We're rooting for you guys. Stay healthy, stay smart, hang around the right folks. And like Q said, go get your money. We will see you at the top, and we will definitely see you next week. And if you haven't already, before I forget, make sure that you hit that button. You subscribe, because that's going to help us and the algorithms find us and get us in front of more football players, parents, and coaches. So build this thing with us, you guys. Please tell your friends, tell everybody you know that we're trying to give you guys some great value. So we will see you next week. For Coach Wood, Q, we're out of here. Have a good one.